Hey guys, Gina here. It's day one of February 2013, and I am working on my first layout, and Lane challenged us today to scrapbook something completely without words. And I have found this, at first I was like, that's gonna be easy, but actually it's not easy at all. I am the queen of word stickers. I like using little word phrases on my pages. I think about titles. I journal a lot. So this issue of not using words on the page is quite crazy to me, but we're gonna do the best I can. So I picked these two photos of my nephew and my husband, and if you look at them, they're making faces at each other like this. And so I really love how much fun my husband has with our nieces and nephews. And I thought, you can get a sense strictly from these pictures without any words, which was the challenge. You can get a sense of the fun that they're having together as they make these faces. So I thought that would be a great thing to use this prompt and get these pictures scrapped. So I'm going to use this paper pack from Basic Gray. It's their fact collection, and it features lots of different colors and patterns. And I picked this up, I got this at Joann's when they were having their big Christmas sale. So there are all the papers in it, and I have chosen these three pieces of paper here. This like light aqua, this red polka dot which has some aqua in the background, and then this brown with all these numbers. They're not words, they're numbers, but it's got this cute little heart in the center that I'm going to somehow preserve. And I love Basic Gray paper normally, but in this collection pack it's very thin paper. Like, it's not cardstock, it's definitely a lighter weight paper. So I've pulled this piece of basil cardstock, and I don't know what color it is, but I don't like it. And it doesn't show up, the color doesn't show up so well on camera, but it's like this peachy color, and I will never use this. So I'm going to use that to adhere my pattern papers to, just to give it some, to make it thicker and more solid, so it'll stand up. And then I keep all of my chipboard pieces in these containers that I got from IKEA, and they're separated by color. And because my theme is this blue, red, and brown, I've pulled my brown. There's lots of stuff in here, but it's mostly it's chipboard. Got a cute corrugated star in here, and some other things I can pull out and try to use. But again, look at all the words. There's some cool stars in here. And then I have blue the same way. All of these blue sort of embellishments. And I pulled the red ones out as well. And I don't have as many red ones. Must be because the red ones get used more. But, so I'm going to try to just use these three papers. Whatever embellishments I have in these little containers from IKEA. I'm working in a mess because I finished my Project Life layout last night. And I haven't cleaned up from that yet. But I have to get this layout done, and then tomorrow's Saturday, and we'll clean up and start again. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see what we create. Hey guys, so what you're seeing me do now is I'm just measuring down these pictures. I want them to be the same width, so I'm just measuring them down to see where I want to cut each of them, because I wanted to make sure that I was preserving what was happening in the photos and not cutting Eli in such a weird way that it looked like, I chopped him in half or something. So I had originally thought that I would mount my pictures directly on that brown paper, but then there wasn't enough contrast between the background and the background of the pictures and that brown paper, so I decided it needed to be matted. So I'm using this matting tool that I bought a few years ago and haven't really used, but because I had to line those photos up, I wanted to use it, and it works pretty well. I just am using my X-Acto knife to cut along there, and it would have worked better had I kept the tool firm against the cutting mat, but it actually lifted when I was pushing against it, so I messed up the cut just a little bit. So I had to pull out my scissors and fix that. And I'm going to ink all of the edges of this layout with Gathered Twigs Distress ink, just to make it a little cohesive. And I've decided that I no longer like this method with the finger, with that little, I don't know what you call that thing that you know, those little ink dauber things. I don't really like that. I'm going to go back to the actual tools that they use with Distress inks because I don't really it takes too long that way and I'm quite impatient. So I'm matting now that picture onto that brown paper, preserving that heart like I said, and then I'm going to take this teal paper and mat it, not really mat it, but back it with that basil cardstock just to make it a bit stiffer, you know, as it goes in my book because that basic gray paper is really thin. So I want to make it a little bit thicker, give some weight to it. So, and again, I'm just going to go around and I'm going to distress all the edges of this. And here, right about here is where I decided that those little ink daubers, and I can't even remember what they're called, those little ink sponges, that they're not working. They work really well if I'm covering like chipboard or I'm covering a wood veneer. They work good for that. But to cover large spaces like this, to edge, the sponges and the ink tool, the ink blending tool from Ranger actually work much better. So I'm going to go back to that. But at this point, it was like, I've already started it this way, so I'm going to finish it this way. So, and then I'm just deciding how long I want that red piece of paper to be on the back of the layout. And then I'm going to cut out this photo, and again I said I'm going to preserve that red, but I wanted to give it a little bit of interest on that one side, so I just used that ruler and actually tore that paper instead. So as you can see, it's not exactly straight, that one side, that right hand side. And here I'm just fiddling around with where I'm going to put that red paper. And one of the things I wanted to say, I'm doing this layout for load. Where you're doing a layout a day for the whole month of February. So these layouts tend to be a bit less I don't know, a bit less detailed, I guess, because I just, you know, I need to get it done because you're doing a layout a day. And this one I started at about 10 o'clock at night, so I really wanted to get it done. And it took me a while to figure out what pictures I wanted to use, and the prompt of no, you'll see there's no title or anything because like I said in the intro video, this is a no words challenge. So my adhesive ran out, so I had to fix that. I really need to put adhesive back in my ATG, but I haven't done that yet. I need to do that. So I'm laying this all out, and I think these pictures give it a good idea of what I'm trying to express. And you'll see me go through these bits of chipboard and die cuts and things that I have in those little IKEA tubs, like I said, that I've organized by color. So I decided to put a little bit of washi tape down in between that. The transition between that brown and that red polka dot seemed a little off to me. So I just added a little bit of brown washi tape down there. I thought that added a little bit of, and it's torn on both sides, so it kind of matches added a little bit of continuity across the layout to bring that kind of brown over on that side. And then one of the things I really wanted to do was emphasize that heart, so I decided to add the arrow there. And you'll see me fiddling around with what embellishments I want to use. This layout all told took about 50 minutes to finish, so not too bad. And then I decide maybe the wood veneers would be better, maybe a banner. I'm going back and forth about what I want to do. And I definitely know that I need to bring red somewhere else in the layout because I want to make that visual triangle around my pictures, and I want to use that heart on that brown paper for one area of that embellishment and that triangle, and then pick out some others. And these are some pink paisley letters, and I'm gonna put XO on the bottom here. And then my husband was like, I'm not kissing and hugging him, we're making faces at each other. And I was like, well, when I think XO, it's not always, you know, hugs and kisses. Sometimes it's just about love. And I don't know, now that he said that, that's what I think when I look at it, but I'm not changing it. And as you'll see in a minute, I'm gonna paste those. I'm gonna glue those letters down with Tombow Mono multi glue, so they're not coming back up. So it's just gonna have to be the XO there. Here I am again looking for some red embellishments, trying to figure out what I want to use, because I really had no plan when I started this layout, and I'm just going along and trying to figure out what to put in that upper left-hand corner that's going to make that visual red triangle. I know that red paper is there, but it's not enough. I felt like I needed a little bit more red up in that corner. So these are some snap labels that I thought I might use. And I'm going to fiddle with which one I should use, and then I don't end up using either one of them. I've watched a lot of YouTube videos, and we all say the same thing, that we decide we're going to put something on the layout, and then we take it off and start again. So I think that happens all the time. Here I'm flipping through. I redid my scrap room today, but I reorganized a bit, but I used to keep my 12 by 12 label stickers in a bin at the top of my desk, and I was going through and looking at those to decide to look for some red embellishments. And here again, I put it down and then take it back off. No plan. Kind of running by the seat of our pants here, and I'm off looking for something else now. What it is, I don't know. I was looking at washi tape. I decided that I'm just going to put a little bit of red washi tape there. I'm going to add wood veneers to each of the 3 embellishment areas. Here I'm going to put that down with Tombow Mono Multi Glue, so that X and that O is not coming up. So I don't know. I think it's fine, even if it is hugs and kisses. Eli is still at that age where he likes to give hugs, so. So we're going to add red and a wood, red in each of the areas and a wood veneer in each of the areas, and that's going to call the layout done for day 1 of load, which was Friday, February the 1st. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care.